Well, I have another old vise. This is from the Reed Manufacturing Company. And I just spent some time getting it apart, and I kind of cobbled it back together. This screw right here holds the base, connects it to that. I put it there so it wouldn't tip. This is a number 203.5. It could be a number 20 with a 3.5-inch jaw, because that is 3.5 inches. So I'm not really sure. I've not done any research on this. But we're going to get her cleaned up, paint it, and probably sell it. I might keep this one. That one's too big. I mean, it's not really too big. For my shop it is. I don't have the room for it. And I've got this old clunker here, some Chinese thing that I bought back in the 90s that I don't mind beating up. It's actually, for Chinese made, it's pretty good condition yet. And I can spin that around to use the jaws for pipes and tubes and things like that. Here it is, 99% tore down. The only thing I have not removed is this here. A lot of times these will unscrew. I don't know in this case if they do. I will get a hold of Mr. Pratt and he can let me know. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, basically 11 pieces. And so we will get those cleaned up. Alright, well, it's the next day. I was going to try to remove these two ball ends so that I could straighten this up, then clean this up, and just have all that out of the way. But it appears that these are peened on, and I'm not going to remove them. I also had marred up one of them, and so I took it to the sander and I got it cleaned up pretty good. And so I just need to get this rust off of here and get that looking good. I dressed this one up with the wire brush as best as I'm going to do. I'm going to plunk it in some acid and see how good I can get it cleaned up with that. I have these parts down here, and so I'm making a little bit of progress. But first, here are all the pieces prepped and ready, except that's chainsaw. Alright, so everything is good to go. Parts that are not going to be painted, I filed these down, and I still need to maybe clean up the sides of that. Well, it's raining pitchforks and hoe handles out there. So much for the sun coming out. It started, but I guess it didn't like us. I just put everything back together so as I don't lose no parts. And there shall it sit until I'm ready to paint. Now, paint. I did a search for hammered spray paint. The only thing I've ever seen in any of the stores around here is like a brown, I think a bronze and a black or something like that. There's only like 3 colors. And I like that color that's similar to this. And then there's like a bluish gray. And you'll see 805 Road King uses those 2 colors to paint engines. And I like those. It seems like I had a can years ago I don't know. So I asked him, and he sent me a link. That's the end of this project until I get paint. And then we'll continue on.